And I remember seeing this play live and just being like, oh my goodness, they couldn't tackle this man. I am Garrett.
I am Brandon.
We are here to talk about GOATs.
So we're going to talk about, discuss, debate the greatest of all time,
Barry Sanders,
Damian Tomlinson.
You're listening to the Goat Herders podcast, where we herd the greatest of all time.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Goat Herders podcast. Today, what's on tap is the best sports memories.
Top memories. I don't even know if they're the greatest.
So Garrett's going to start us off with his first top memory. Tell us a little bit about it.
All right, so my first memory is going to be a little bit of a preface to my memory. It's going to be a little preface here. We got one of the greatest running backs of all time here in Marshawn Lynch, and he earned a name from a play against the Saints in 2010. And I remember seeing this play live and just being like, oh my goodness, they couldn't tackle this man. And he got his name Beast Mode from this run here against the Saints. Seahawks versus Saints in 2010.
Crowd silent now.
As you see here, he'll break through the line, breaking 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles right off the bat. 5 and 6 right there. He's big spawn. Shoves him down. Evades that one, and he gets one more here missed tackle as he goes into the end zone. Just a huge run right there for Marshawn Lynch. And a shout out to Drew Brees, who announced his retirement yesterday. Great quarterback. But that run just emphasizes how good of a running back Marshawn Lynch was.
The irony keep going.
Go ahead.
The irony of that play is, if I remember correctly, in 2010, he was kind of just a middling running back who hadn't really done much. That kind of started his career to being like something more.
Right. And then you've got 4 years later, this is the memorable play that I was prefacing that one with this to set you up for the second one. When you've got the Seahawks and the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2014, the coaching decision by Pete Carroll in this is just atrocious. And I'm sure that it has been talked about many, many times of why he went with this play call. When you've got that running back that you just saw busting through all those tackles in the backfield, standing next to Russell Wilson on this play, you'll see him drop back and just try to fire a laser, and Malcolm Butler just jumps the play and intercepts it. When I first watched it back in the day, well, still to today, not as much now that Brady's gone to the Buccaneers, but I was just an avid Patriots hater. So this was in the middle of their multiple Super Bowl wins. I was just like, the Seahawks have got this. They're on the 1 yard line. They're going to punch this in. They're going to beat the Patriots. The Patriots are not going to get another Super Bowl ring this year. And I love the Seahawks. I loved Russell Wilson. I loved Marshawn Lynch. And then to see that happen was just devastating. So
I cannot believe the call.
Not a positive memory, but one that I will never forget, and how terrible that was and devastating to me.
I can't believe the call.
Good old Pete Carroll.
So that's my number 3 sports memory right there. How about you, Brandon?
My number 3 sports memory. I'm going to jump back to 2007. So I would have been in high school at the time, and I followed just about every single sport as closely as possible. But I was super big into cheering on the underdogs. And so this clip is from the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, Boise State versus Oklahoma. If you know anything about sports, you know exactly what play I'm talking about. It's actually not the Statue of Liberty. It's a different play.
I was thinking. When I heard Boise State, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it is the play that preceded that by a few minutes in that game. It was the hook and ladder. I was completely blown away by that play and what happened there.
To move the chains.
You got 50-yard line, you can see it's 4th and 18. And you're going, there's no way they're going to win. There's 17 seconds. Oh, maybe get the first down. Oh, and that is a touchdown. I've never seen a trick play like that pretty much in my whole life up into that point that worked so well and in such a key moment. And for Boise State to beat Oklahoma was just unbelievably awesome because everybody, except for Oklahoma fans, is probably cheering for Boise State because they were such an underdog, because they were like one of the first non-BCS teams to actually like really be competitive in a game like that. So that was just super awesome.
That was actually a play that I think probably after that. That was 2007?
Yeah.
So we did that in high school. Probably it would have been the year after that. We had a coach that we did that successfully in multiple games in high school. I don't know if we ever scored touchdowns, but we had big games on it running that play. So they went on and did the Statue of Liberty in overtime in that game?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was back-to-back trick plays, man. That is a fun coach. That's someone that you'd love to play for. You'd love to be around because that's just he takes a game that's usually got simple rules, simple things, and he's just doing a whole bunch of different things to make it fun, make it more competitive.
Yeah, I did that. I liked that game so much that I bought the DVD version of it. All right, what about your number two?
My number two, we are going to go to one of the most famous bowls of all time in the Auburn and Alabama Iron Bowl back in 2013. And this one is so memorable for me because we were at my aunt and uncle's house, probably for Thanksgiving break. And I remember we had watched most of the game. It was on in the background. I didn't really have a bone to pick in this game. I didn't have a dog to back. It was however you want to say it. Like it was good football. And watching this game, cheering for the underdog, as Brandon said last game, and just being like, Auburn's got this. They're hanging in there. And then watching Alabama line up for this field goal and be like, no way is he going to make a 50-plus yard field goal in this game. And then seeing what happens from there.
Well, I guess if this thing comes up short, he can field it.
So lining up for the field goal, and I'm just like, come on, please block this. Please block this. Please block this. Oh, I didn't block it.
No, does not have the leg.
And then seeing this guy catching the back of the end zone, I was like, okay. Okay. And we're like walking out the door at my aunts and uncle's house because we're like, he's going to make it, and we had to go. Like, we were going somewhere. And then you just hear it erupt, and I was like, wait, he didn't make the field goal? And like, the TV's going crazy. And I was just like, no way. So I was like, I missed it live, and I just watched the replay because I was like walking out the door. So it was just, I missed it happen live, but then watched the replay, and it was great. Like, again, I didn't have a bone to pick, but it was just a phenomenal play, like a 104-yard touchdown or 109-yard return on a field goal.
I've never seen that play before.
Really?
Well, that's probably the year I stopped.
Oh, post year. Yeah. When you stopped. Yep, that's true. All right, how about your number two?
All right, my number two. It's kind of a switch up. In high school, I was really big into Michael Phelps. In 2008, he had 8 gold medals in the Beijing Olympics. And I was just super into watching him race that year and super like impressed by everything. And so his 7th gold medal race, which he tied the record of 7, was one of the closest finishes ever and just unbelievable. And I remember watching that. That was like my motivational. The morning of a soccer game, I would watch the DVD of Michael Phelps, and I would use that as like motivation and inspiration as I went out and sat on the bench.
What an inspiration.
Yeah. Or maybe that was the year that I actually scored a couple goals. It might have been. That would have been 2009. So I actually had a really good year that year. So this was kind of the track of that year and I watched it every morning before a game and just really got into it.
About 24 flat. If he's 23-8 or 23-9, he will win. But if Cabbage has that...
So you can see they're all pretty close. This is the butterfly. They're going to turn around with Michael Phelps is in number 5. But he's losing most of this. This is a 100-meter sprint, basically.
He's 24 flat. That's a great turn for Phelps. He's mixed it in the wash, but here he comes. Crocker is above Phelps. Phelps looks like he's passing Crocker.
The guy above him had beat him in 2004 in the Olympics, and Kavik is still ahead at this point. And he does a half stroke and gets in. And he wins by 1/100th of a second.
Wow.
On a half stroke, which is not how you normally finish a race. Which is just blew my mind that he was counting his strokes and thought, oh, I'm going to do a half stroke at the end. I think that's the right thing to do. When you never would do that as a swimmer. So, unfortunately, I wish this would have been his 8th gold medal. That would have been way cooler.
Yeah.
But that was his 7th. Was still pretty darn cool.
You got to get the first 7 before you can get the 8th one. So.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is a pretty amazing one.
All right. Then my number 1 comes from my biggest rival game every year in the Lions and Packers. And this turn of events that ended this game, I was in my apartment with my wife, who is also a huge Packer fan, and we're watching this game, and I'm just stoked because the Lions are winning. There's only 20 seconds left, and the Packers are on like their own 20-yard line, and I'm just like, they've got this. There's no way that the Lions can blow this. And of course, having that mentality is never a good thing to do. So I'm going to kind of talk through it as it goes through here. It's
afford to be tackled in the field of play.
So you got 15 seconds left, and he throws an incomplete pass down the field. And I'm just like, all right, 6 seconds left. They've got this now. They've got this.
Oh, wow.
They do a hook and ladder. They throw it all the way back to Rodgers, and then they get this piece of crap call of a face mask, because you watch it and he does not touch his face. Like, he does not grab his face mask. He grabs his jersey. His thumb might nick the face mask barely. But the fact that his head turns and the fact that Aaron Rodgers doesn't wear a helmet that fits ever, like, makes it look like a face mask. So they get the one more play, and I was like, all right, he's still got to throw the ball like 60 yards into like the big group. I was like, come on, just bat it down, just bat it down, just bat it down. And none of the Lions defenders have position. None of them have position. Let's go ahead and touchdown. I just remember getting up off the couch and locking myself in the bathroom. I was just like, I was so devastated because I was just like, the Lions, they did it for once. They beat the Packers. And then
they did. I remember seeing that game. Oh, I didn't watch the game. I saw it after because everybody was like, oh, yeah, you see the Packer game? And I was like, no, what happened? Thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, I thought they were going to lose. They should have lost. So that's a heartbreaker. Again, not a top memory, but definitely one of the most memorable ones that I will never forget. How about you, Brandon? What's your number 1?
All right, my number 1 is kind of a surprising one, but it has a lot to do with what the context was around this one. So this is in 2003. The Packers were playing the Denver Broncos on week 17. They had to win. I think they were up like 42-3 or something. Ahman Green had a 98-yard touchdown run that game. Like, it was a complete blowout. The Packers were going to win. But the only way they're going to make the playoffs is if the Vikings lost. And the Vikings were playing the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. And the Vikings had been up for a lot of the game. And I was listening to that game on the radio while watching the TV. Well, I was watching the game on TV, but we had it up on the radio because in 2003, our TV was basically an antenna that didn't work very well. And so it was like grayscale and like coming in and out of static. And so we would put the radio on so we could actually know what was happening in the game that we were watching. And so I remember they kept giving us updates about the Cardinals Vikings game. And then they gave the radio announcement, which you're going to hear in this video, of the last play of the Cardinals game.
Yeah, and the clock continues to run, PA. 17, 16, 15.
So the clock is running down, and they've got one play left, basically.
Exactly right.
Josh McCown is the quarterback, and here we go.
Two receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone.
Throws it up.
Caught! Touchdown!
And Nate Poole, the back of the end zone. They actually changed the rule after that. He got forced out.
You only
he
got
got 1 foot down.
Yeah. This was before the 2-foot rule.
Yep. So that was one of the plays that kind of made him push it to be 2 feet. Because I mean, he would never have gotten that 2nd foot down, but they pushed him out. And it was just unbelievable. I mean, you could hear the guy there just going absolutely insane.
Yeah.
When he caught that. And it was just like, the Packers are going to the playoffs. We all were like, there's no way. The Vikings are going to win, and it's just done. And then, yeah, that's not what happened. So that was just a great memory. I was pretty young. I would have only been like 5th or 6th grade at that point.
Yeah.
So that was really a big deal to me. Any reflections on our greatest of all time sports memories?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, the different memories. Like, we grew up same time periods, we're the same age, just the different memories we had based on the different life experiences we had. Like, I didn't watch Olympics at all, and I would never have even thought about that. I was not a fan of that. And like, with that being that little, like, I don't think I remember any games from when I was that little, because I didn't get to watch them on TV unless the Lions were on ESPN or something, because we just had the satellite, and we didn't, even on basic channels, I feel like the Lions were never on, or I didn't really get to watch games live. So
were they blacked out?
A lot of the time, yeah.
Oh,
a lot of the time, because they wouldn't sell out in the they wouldn't sell out for the games, and we never really went down to games. I think I made it to maybe 1, maybe 2 games at Ford Field. I don't even know if I ever went to the Silver Dome. But
well, that's interesting. I guess having grown up in Wisconsin, there's 0% chance the game's going to get blacked out. So I never really had that experience, and I've never talked to anybody who actually had that experience.
Yeah.
You basically just can listen to it on the radio, and that's it.
Yep. It's funny, these days we always get together to watch Packer games, because there's a bunch of Packer fans in the area, and we'll watch it. It's almost always on TV, and if it's not, one of the guys has the NFL pass, but it's always the Packers game that we watch. And I'll be like, well, can we watch the Lions game this week? Because like, I never get to watch Lions, and you guys have watched every single Packer game that's ever been aired growing up. So
yeah, that's interesting. For me, I think it's interesting that you're a Lions fan, and so you've had a lot of pain in your life. So 2 of your videos were like just angering and frustrating things that happened to teams that you were rooting for. Whereas mine were just like, this was unbelievable for you, and just awesome.
Yep.
All right, I think that's all we have for this week. So this is the Goat Herding Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about this. We're gonna be coming at you with great content in the upcoming weeks. NFL draft is coming. The beginning of the Major League Baseball season is coming, so look forward to that. So this is the Goat Herding Podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Garrett.